All right, folks, let's talk about charter schools. Last week, Randi Weingarten, who heads the American Federation of Teachers, gave a speech where she talked about the issue of charter schools. And in her speech, what she did was she said that charter schools are, in essence, the polite cousins of segregation. Now, we all know that Randi Weingarten is very much against charter schools. And then what she also tweeted, she tweeted some various information. One of the things that she said was this here about charter schools. She said that the word choice, of course, has been used over the years. And she said that with school choice, she said this here on Twitter, which was quite interesting. Let me pull it up right here. She said, make no mistake, the real pioneers of school choice were white politicians who resisted school integration. Now, here's the deal. Randi Weingarten is correct about history. Is correct about charter schools. But here's the deal, Randi. There's no institution in America that doesn't have its roots in racism. Not one. Why? Oh, because the country was founded on racism. Duh. So take your pick. In fact, Randi, you support traditional public schools. They were founded on racism. Black folks were locked out of traditional public schools. In fact, Randi, African Americans in the South, we're the ones who made it possible for publicly financed education, and we were locked out of that. Churches, yeah, racism. Our government, yeah, founded on racism. Let's see, corporate America, founded on racism. What am I missing? Take your pick, every sector. So here's the deal. So to try to make the argument that those who are supporting school choice today are in essence standing with segregation in the past, well, I would say, Randi, you as a supporter of traditional public schools, you're standing with traditional segregationists. Why? It's called American history. So can we please stop this nonsense? Because here's the deal. I don't give a damn about that. So because I'm in media, founded by white racists, I should not be in media? No, this is childish. Do you know what black folks care about, Randi? They care about their kids getting education. They care about whether or not they can read, whether they can write. So can we stop this nonsense? America was founded on racism. America was founded on white supremacy. There's no institution that can ignore that. So don't act like it's just about charter schools. Pan, on your thoughts.
Well, I'll jump in and say, I think what this highlights is the disconnect between labor run out of Washington, D.C. by traditionally people who are not of color. I worked in labor for 5 years, and one thing that I noticed is the message that we all talked about here in the nation's capital was very different when you got out there in the community. I worked at the National Education Association, which happens to be led by 3 women of color, but just recently, the complaint is, much like the Democratic Party, that labor leaders are still torn in this conversation of who do we target, people of color or traditional white working class people, and they have lost the connection between the people on the ground. And when you get to communities of color, it comes to, if you can save my kid, save my kid, the hell with the rest. And
but this is real simple, Ava. It's real simple, and that is this here. I could use that argument on it. Matter of fact, the labor union.
I was about to say,
the labor movement.
Booyah.
The labor movement.
Absolutely. Still today.
Building and trades.
Yes.
Go ahead. Don't even get me.
I'm from the state of Virginia. Virginia is one of those states where after the Brown v. Board of Education, obviously we faced massive resistance, racism. Virginia was one of those states where they chose in some localities to actually close down all public schools rather than to educate black children. So, of course, it's always been a part
every
of
institution.
Absolutely.
Brandon,
and I agree
about 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Labor unions, police unions, teachers unions, they're not, putting the best interest of the community first. But to the point, you're talking about history, we talk about today. UCLA did a study and they looked at the most segregated systems in the country. They're the ones that are really hostile to school choice. New York City is number one.
New York City,
Illinois,
where she ran the union.
Maryland, my state, all these Democrat, and let's be honest, Democrat states where they are very close with these unions.
It's called
segregating the country.
A history of white supremacy. That's the American story.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.